Now, a while back I did the video on the air compressor, you know, airing down your tyres for off-roading and all that kind of thing. And I did say about deleting the TPMS, the tyre pressure monitoring system, from the car. There's different ways of doing it. Range Rover's up to 2009. You have to pull a fuse. It says to remove the sensors, obviously from your wheels, and delete it using the Gap tool. The 2010, it doesn't say anything about removing a fuse. It says to remove the sensors, which I'm not going to do at the moment, but I'm going to see if I can delete it using the Gap tool. I did get some comments as well saying, can we do this, can we do that? So I'm going to just plug the Gap tool in. Right, I'm going to put the ignition on. Oh, I need to screen record it, don't I? Gap tool. Now we're going to be changing CCF files. So we're going to go into, what are we going into? Car configuration. CCF will be loaded. Continue. So it's reading the CCF files. That bonging might stop in a minute. Let me just start the car. Service required? I don't bloody think so. I'll tell you what. Let's plug a seatbelt in. Things you gotta do. Right, so do you mind? I'm trying a video here. Bloody farmers. Right, so we're going to go into confirmed list, the body control module, and now we're going to look down here for the TPMS. Now there will be some settings. So the TPMS on the spare wheel, and it will say TPMS monitoring 1 and TPMS monitoring 2. So what I'm going to do is take a screenshot of that, because if we want to re-enable them, we'll know what we need to set it to. So just press on the iPad, it's press the home and the power button, and that'll screenshot that. So what I'm going to do now is go into the TPMS on the spare wheel, hit no, apply, tyre pressure monitoring 1, none, apply, and TPMS monitoring 2, none, apply. And then we're going to say upload changes, upload these changes, yes. Engine will automatically shut off, yes, that's no problem. Ignition will return on. Okay, switching ignition off, so it just goes through its thing. Now it's done this before when I was messing about trying to get the trailer electrics wired up, and it's kept saying failure, so I'm interested to see what it says today. Writing CCF, you'll have heard that noise. Sam's car does exactly the same, it's that dash cam. I've got the switch to talking off, I do not have that talking going on, oh my god. So it's uploading the CCF to the vehicle now. Switching ignition, well it says switching ignition off, but it's just switched it on. It's telling me there's a service required, so it's waiting for ECU initialisation, 7 seconds remaining. Switching ignition on, so yeah, so we've lost all the radio stations. Clearing faults, switching ignition off. You more want to make sure your battery's pretty good when you're doing this, or at least have a live feed to your battery with like a C-Tech battery charger or something like that. This battery's pretty good, so switching ignition back on. It does run through a bit of a cycle. It says upload failed, but we'll see. Continue. Then it says CCF upload completed, so make of that what you will. I'll switch that off, don't need that on, thank you, don't need that on. So I'm going to start it up. We'll just read the faults, see if there's any faults on it. Switch all this bloody thing off. Epoxy noise. So the only faults comes up is to do with the amplifier, but it's nothing really. So I'm going to have to reset the clock and the time and date and everything, because that's just wiped off. So that's that, we're all done. I'm going to disconnect now. You're about to disconnect from the tool. Wish to proceed, yes. Switch the screen recording off, and then I'm going to switch the car off. Remove the gap tool. These things are bloody amazing. If you've got one, you know. If you haven't got one, get one. That's if you've got a Land Rover. Right, so now I'm going to start the car up. I'll just video it with my phone and see if it actually comes up with the tyre pressure thing, because it normally pops up on the screen. You will see that all the time and date is out. So let's. So we've got no TPMS warning on the dashboard. Tells me that the service is required. It's not. We did the service not so long ago. So that just leaves me to set the clock and the date. Now, someone did say, or I have seen it somewhere, that a car failed its MOT when the TPMS sensors weren't working. Now, I don't know if it was because there was a fault coming up on the dashboard, or if somebody had removed it. If the TPMS sensor, at the end of the day, it's an optional extra on a lot of cars. So if your car hasn't got it, you know, it can't be part of the test. So they don't test for it here in France, or at least if it's not flashing up on the dashboard that tyre pressure monitoring is set. You can't go into the menu on this, I don't think, to see vehicle setup or anything like that. I suppose now, because I can, you can set it for light or heavy load, but it might have yeah, so now I've removed the TPMS sensor from the ECUs, or that function. It doesn't come up on the main dash, you know, when you're going through with the buttons on the steering wheel, because you could set the car for light loads or heavy loads. That's all gone now. I have done a screenshot which I will save on the computer if I want to re-enable the TPMS sensors. But when we do change tyres on this again, I will get them just to put ordinary valves in it. Or if these ones will go again, they'll go again. It's there's nothing on the dashboard now for the TPMS, so if we do deflate down for tricky terrain, we're not going to get things coming up all over the car. So yeah, there you go. Good job done. Hope you enjoyed this video. You might have learned something. Anyway, we'll catch you next one. Bye for now.